What's up? Hope you had a good Valentine's. I think my testimony is gonna be, I'm gonna have to prolong it another day. Because the thing is, there's a lot of the scriptures, like the story of David and Goliath and John and Peter, I've kind of told. I told like at the beginning of all my videos. I told that, and then when we were going through the Bible, we crossed those scriptures, so I told the story again. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in. Just listen. I'll show you. I'm gonna testify about something different, kind of. And I'm gonna talk about how God speaks our individual personal language, and through that, through Him coming down and speaking to me personally and individually, and then getting my attention, kind of like what He did when He first saved me. He used the book of James, chapter 5, verse 20, which is my birth date, and my name, obviously. So He spoke my language, got my attention, and it changed everything. And he did it again, and this time, but He did it through music. And my whole life I've never been like a person that likes the beat doesn't matter that much to me. I'm more into like what they're saying. I've always found it fascinating that people could tell a story and rhyme words together to tell a story. I always found that cool. I've always loved poetry. Ever since I found this newspaper clipping in my grandma's old Bible when I got out of the courthouse, when I got out of the annex back in my story, and had to go live with my grandpa and my mom right after my grandma died. So we were putting some of her stuff away. In her book there was a poem called "Don't Quit," and ever since that day I love poems, and that's my favorite poem of all time. And then God knows that numbers get my attention, so He used 520 to get my attention. He used page 520 in the hymnal when He sent us to victory in Jesus, which was cool. But so He used about 4 songs in the past 2 years. So, and I mean, give or take, it's about 2 songs a year that He used to get me through the year, and 2 songs the next year. But really, it's about 3-1. But that don't matter. And He used these songs to build my confidence, and He spoke my language to build the relationship. And that's how He pursued me. That's how, because remember, I wasn't going to church. And when I did go, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't want to be there. I wasn't reading my Bible. I wasn't praying. I wasn't listening to my wife. I wasn't listening to anybody. And just like the story of Peter, he came to my level to get my attention. And He came to my level to get my attention so He could teach me His language. So He could teach me about His agape love. So I knew how to speak His language, just like He did with Peter. And remember, I told you about the story about the song that I heard 4 out of 5 days after work, like Tuesday through Friday. I heard it every day when I walked into work. And then that same Sunday at church, the special music was that exact song. And I never heard it in church before or since. And then a week later, I was at a Bible study with my wife. Both times, God broke me down to teach me His language. And for the next 2 years, He spent His time teaching me His language. And here's some of the words from that song. And this song's called "Remind Me Who I Am" by Jason Gray. And just remember all the stuff that was going on, because I want you to see how God speaks our language. And it's the words that get me, because they're speaking to me in the moment. And it says, Hold on a second. Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, then it says, when I lose my way and I forget my name, remind me who I am. And remember, because I wasn't praying, I wasn't reading the Bible, I wasn't seeking him, these songs, after these lyrics stuck with me and they broke me down, it became basically my prayer. It was my worship, because I wasn't praying. So when I would go get a shower, I would play these songs, and it basically became my cry to God. And yeah, it basically became my prayer life. And I'm praising him at the same time. So I forget where I was. Oh, it says, in the mirror, all I see is who I don't want to be. Remind me who I am. In the loneliest places, when I can't remember what grace is. And then it goes on to say, tell me once again who I am to you. Who I am to you. I wish I could sing, but I can't. So he's asking him a question. Tell me lest I forget who I am to you, that I belong to you. And here's the second verse. When my heart is like a stone and I'm running far from home, when I can't receive your love, afraid I'll never be enough, remind me who I am. And then see, this is the best part. It says, if I'm your beloved, can you help me believe it? And the crazy part is, I didn't know it at the time, because this is a song he used to break me down. I didn't catch it till later. And then, man, the power, gosh. It's crazy, dude. And then like 2 months, 3 months later, he started to teach me these stories about David and Goliath and John and Peter. And then he led me to Romans 7 and 8. And he started to teach me who I was in him. But the crazy part is, he taught me how to know that you're so loved by God, that you're the beloved of God. That was exactly the words. David's name in Hebrew is beloved, beloved of God. And 2 months prior to that, he gave me the song that was breaking me down. And in the middle of the song, it says, if I'm your beloved, can you help me believe it? So all those months, I'm sitting there. This is my prayer now, basically. I'm singing these words in praise because he's breaking me down. And I'm praising him, and this is basically my prayer. And then 2 months later, he starts teaching me about being the beloved of God and knowing that you're so loved by God. In the midst of my ignorance, in the midst of me not seeking him, this is him pursuing me. What? It's crazy, dude. He taught me how John knew he was the beloved of God. Dude, all these stories are back in the thing. And the Romans 7 and 8 we'll be picking up on as soon as I'm done with my testimony, so we'll cover that then. And the David Goliath thing is all the Israelites didn't want to go out and fight Goliath. They were all discouraged, scared, fearful. David comes along, goes out, slays the giant, and the question is why? Why wasn't he afraid? Why were they afraid? And then I go to find out. And see, and then God led me to David to begin with because I was messing up. And I was looking in the Bible for someone to relate to. And then when I knew that David committed murder, adultery, lied, stole, but God said, he's a man after my own heart. So I went right to the story of David. I wanted to know what God said. He's a man after my own heart. And then that led me to David and Goliath. And that led me to wonder why he slayed them and the Israelites wouldn't even budge. And then it led me to his name, meaning the beloved of God. And that's what he's saying. And he's teaching me this. And he's the beloved of God. And he slayed the giant. And because David won, Israel won the battle. It wasn't just David. David takes that head, buries it outside the gates in Jerusalem. Outside of the gates in Jerusalem, there's a place called the Place of a Skull. Used to be called Mount Goliath from Gath. Mount Goliath, and then it ended up changing to Golgotha. And for those that don't know, that's where Jesus was crucified. And on that day, Jesus won the battle against death, piercing the head of the giant again. And because he won, we win. Just like when David won, Israel won, God's children won, because David won the battle. The same thing happened on the cross, as the cross pierced the head of the giant again, Goliath's skull, signifying that he won. He defeated death. So therefore, we too win, and we too defeat death. Then I go out and find out that Peter denies Christ 3 times. So I can relate with Peter now too. So I'm looking into this story, and I find out that Jesus comes and pursues Peter, shows up at the shore, shows up where Peter's at, calls him in, begins to teach him about love. And then at the end of that story, when he's teaching him about love, Peter says something about John, but he addresses John as the disciple who Jesus loves. And then it made me think, man, John's cocky. Then I figure out, no, John gets it. John knew it was about God's love for him. The disciple who Jesus so loved. So the beloved disciple basically is his name. The beloved disciple. And I'm learning all this, and God's weaving this together. And in the middle of the song it says, if I'm your beloved, can you help me believe it? As I'm praying this every day for 3 months. And then he starts teaching me these things, slowly leading me to the next person to find out about his love. And now I'm here today telling you about what he taught me. And it's about his love. And there's some that disagree. That's fine. You're allowed to disagree. But hear me out. And show me where I'm wrong. Because ain't nobody teaching me this. God taught me this himself. And I'm telling you what he taught me. And it's crazy. And it finishes with, tell me once again who I am to you. I'm the one you love. That'll be enough. And then, as I'm learning this stuff about being beloved of God, and I'm trying to apply it, and I'm trying to just receive it. I'm trying to just seek God. Forget the behavior. Forget all the other stuff. And just worry about seeking God. And then he leads me to another song by Lecrae called I'll Find You. Man, I don't know if I want to read it. I'll try to read it quick. It says, just fight a little longer, my friend. It's all worth it in the end. But when you got nobody to turn to, just hold on and I'll find you. I'll find you. I'll find you. So just keep seeking. Just keep holding on. Just a touch of his garment. That's all it takes. Just gotta be ready to his garment. And then here's the verses. I'm hanging on by a thread, and all I'm clinging to is prayers. Every breath is like a battle. I feel like I ain't come prepared. Death's knocking on the front door. Pain's creeping through the back. Fear's crawling through the windows. I'm just waiting for them to attack. They say don't get bitter, get better. I'm working on switching them letters. But tell God I'm gonna need a whole lot of hope keeping it together. I'm smiling in everyone's face. I'm crying whenever they leave the room. They don't know the battle I face. They don't understand what I'm going through. The world's trying to play with my soul. I'm just trying to find where to go. I'm trying to remember the way. I'm trying to get back to my home. But I can't do this on my own. That's why I'm just trusting in you. Because I don't know where else to go. And I don't know what else to do. And that's exactly how I felt. Like I'm there. But I don't want to be there. But I don't know where else to go. This is the only thing that's ever worked. And I actually believe because of what he did to me before. And now he's pursuing me. And he's starting to change me. But I don't understand it still. I'm not comprehending all of it yet. But I don't know where else to go. Then the chorus comes in and says, just fight a little longer, my friend. It's all worth it in the end. But when you got no one else to turn to, just hold on and I'll find you. Oh man, it's good. Okay, this is verse 2, then I'm gonna be done. They say fear haunts and pain hates. I say pain strengthens and fear drives faith. And I don't know all the outcomes, don't know what happens tomorrow. But when that ocean of doubt comes, don't let me drown in my sorrow. And don't let me stay at the bottom. I feel like this hole is too deep to climb. I've been looking for a way out, but I'll settle with a peace of mind. Picking up the pieces of my life and hoping that I put together something right. Tell me all I got is all I need. Tell me you're gonna help me stay and fight. Dude. Come on. This is speaking. This is, man. I hope you get it, man. It's so powerful, man. It's speaking to my moment. Individually, personally speaking to me. I've told my story. You can relate now. You can see it. I told you what I'm going through. The world's trying to play with my soul. I'm just trying to find where to go. I'm trying to remember the way. I'm trying to get back to my home. Because remember, in the story I was telling you, I was trying. I just wanted to get back to who I used to be. Doing what I used to do. I'm trying to get back to my home. I can't do this on my own. That's why I'm just trusting in you, because I don't know where else to go. And I don't know what else to do. That's crazy. I can't believe I just did all that without crying, dude. When I was thinking about it earlier, I was crying. I was bawling. Dude, he pursued me. Because he so loved me. I wasn't praying. I mean, I was at church every once in a while because my wife wanted me to be there. I wasn't doing any of the right things. I wasn't reading my Bible. I wasn't praying. I wasn't paying attention. Some of the stuff I missed, and Bridget had to point it out, or my pride was too bad, so I didn't want to accept it. Then it becomes so obvious that I can't deny it. By playing a song 4 times in a row when I walk in, speaking directly to my situation. And then I go to church that week. And that song's played. Some lady's singing it. Not even the choir, just some one lady. Never heard it before, never heard it since in the church. Bawling. Then in the song it says, if I'm your beloved, help me believe it. If you're saying that you love me, if you're saying that you love me in spite of me, then you better help me believe it, because I ain't buying it. And then he starts teaching me about it. Then as I'm struggling, kind of like what we're going to find out in Romans 7 that Paul's struggling with, I'm struggling with the same thing. And he gives me another song. He's talking about just hang on, just hold on. I'll find you. We'll clear it up. Just hold on. And I'm pleading with him. Because remember, these are the songs I'm listening to. As he's giving to me, I'm just listening to this song on repeat every time I get a shower. And I shower every day, 7 days a week. And this is basically my prayer, because I'm not praying. This is my worship. And he starts speaking to me. And he starts breaking me down. He gets me back into his word. I start seeing what he's saying. That's my God. That's the good news. Good news that he loves you no matter. All you have to do is accept his son. And just build a relationship with him. But the problem is I know that you won't build a relationship with him. And the reason why is because you don't know about his love. And it's not like I'm sitting there saying that see, ever since day one, when I got saved, I always felt like I was called to be bold and confident and just repeat whatever God's telling me and just say it, no matter what, and be vulnerable with it. And the only time I wasn't able to do that is in that time frame when I was acting a fool. You think it's comfortable, it's not comfortable to tell 90% of your business to people. But it's the love. How can I not talk about it? So I'm throwing myself under the bus in essence? No, it's about the love. It's the power of the love. It's about him so loving us. You know what I mean? This is how I know that we're missing it. Because God came, spoke my language, got my attention, taught me his language. And I see a lot of us don't know that language. So we're either not seeing the picture clear enough and we're missing the details, but we're missing some. And I'm telling you, it's the love. And you can say, I know it all you want. You can say that if you want, but I can tell. It's what it is. It's the love. You don't know how much you love. Because if you knew all the facts, if you knew all the details, if you seen the whole picture, you wouldn't cast those stones. You wouldn't say those things. You wouldn't do that if you knew how much you were loved. And then you gotta be persuaded and convinced. That's the helmet of salvation. Keeps your cup of faith full of confidence. And without faith, you can't please God. Anybody who lacks wisdom, ask God, who gives generously without finding fault. But when you ask, you got to believe. You can't be double-minded or you're an unstable man, tossed to and fro by the waves. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. That's in James, which is the first 8 verses that he gave me when he first saved me. I was lacking wisdom. But guess what? This is the important part. Even in the midst of my struggle, even in the midst of me not paying attention to him or wanting nothing to do with him, I was still his son. He still pursued me. He still came after me to build a relationship. He still loved me. He didn't let me go. Because once you accept Christ and you get adopted into Christ and he gives you the Holy Spirit, you're his adopted child forever. Christ died once for all time. If the blood of goats washes away your sin for a year, how much more blood does the Lamb of God? I mean, it's absurd to think otherwise. And I got scriptures to back all of this up. Now, I'm not saying I'm smarter than everybody and everybody's missing it. I'm not saying it because this has nothing to do with me. I was missing it. I had it all wrong. And I'm telling you I had it all wrong. I'm telling you the whole thing. And God intervened, pursued me, chased me, taught me about his love. And I see a little bit clearer. Taught me about the knowledge of good and evil and how we keep eating from the knowledge of good and evil. And how it's all about just walking and talking with God, seeking God. But we're too focused on our behaviors. And we're judging others according to their behaviors. Because we're so concerned about who we are, not what we are. You are the beloved of God. That's what you are. Hey. I got 2 more songs to go. Dude, those are powerful. Go check them out. The second one's Lecrae. It's called I'll Find You. first one's Jason Gray. Remind me who I am. Dude, changed my life forever.